Guys, this is James with Mtek Digital. I am walking you through some more learning for how to use WordPress once you log in. And I'm taking the position that you're probably a new user to WordPress if you're at all interested in the topic at hand. I'm going to walk you through kind of what the basic tools are on the left here on the menu. So once you arrive in the dashboard, you're going to see these various things that I actually don't use very much. It's just kind of visually there. I think you can customize these to some degrees as to what you want them to be. I personally don't use them very much because where I want to be is inside of these tools on the left. Now this is your menu, which will take you into things like posts. And when you go into posts, that will be your blog articles. And when you kind of hover over it, it's going to bring up a place where you can click to see all your posts. You can add a new post. It will allow you to set your categories, which will allow you to sort the various types of posts that you want to make. And you can also tag. So posts is probably one of the things you're going to use most often. Another thing you're going to use very often is the media gallery. And the media gallery is the library of items, visual items or files or documents that you're going to use throughout the site, whether it's adding a graphic, a header graphic, an icon, a photograph that's going to be embedded into text. This is what that's for. So here you can click this to view the media library, or you can add a new item here. By the way, you can also click this as the parent menu item, and that will take you into, I'm going to click it just so you can see, but I'm going to take you into where you would see. And at the moment, this is a brand new install on WordPress, so there's nothing here. But if I did want to add something, there's all the tools that you would want for adding. You can also do a drag and drop, which is very handy. You can view them in different ways. You can list, you can see it as a list of all the items you have. You can look at thumbnail view. I often look at thumbnail view because I like to see very clearly what the images are in my gallery. So the media gallery is something you'll use very often. There's also the pages category. And the pages differ from posts because posts are like blog posts. They're articles that you can distribute throughout your website in different ways. But pages, they're like your about page, your home page, your services page, or your product page. And that's where the primary ground level content is for your website. And again, same thing, you can view all your pages, you can add new pages, you can go into it and see a list of all the pages that you have, and so forth. Comments is when you do have a blog and you're beginning to see engagement on your blog articles. You can begin to read what people are posting or commenting, and you can see the threads of conversations that people are contributing to your website. Again, this is really only valuable if you are somebody who has an interactive blog and you're wanting to see interaction on your site. Appearance is the overall theme settings, the template that you have installed, various customizations for the template you have. The widgets, so the widgets would be the footer areas, the sidebar areas, the menu, so the top menu, the various, some templates have different types of menus and placements of menus, and you can control that here. Your header graphics, again, it can differ depending on what theme you have installed, but the editor is where you can get into some of the code, and for most people, you're not going to want to go into here because there's nothing you're going to understand. Plugins, that's where you begin to add the additional features to your website. Maybe you want to add a MailChimp form and integrate that into your website. You'll go in here, you'll begin to look at, you can search for, say, a MailChimp plugin. It could be whatever. There's thousands and thousands of plugins that will add to your website the functionality, and that's where you'll begin to install, add, and various things that you can do inside there. Your users is the people who are administrators. Maybe you have a subscription-based website, so you'll begin to see a kind of a database of all the users, people who've signed up, people who you've made administrators. You can add new users. Maybe you have a staff or a team of people maintaining your website. This is where you would add those people, and you can also edit your own. So I'm logged in as myself. This is where I can look at my own settings and maybe do some adjustments to, say, my email address or my passwords or various things like that. Your tools, that's where, again, you're getting into different things that will affect the function and the usage of my WordPress. A lot of people, again, if you're a basic user, you might be hiring somebody to set up your WordPress account. You won't use a lot of these things. Tools you may never go into, but here it is if you ever need to use it. Settings, again, it's the way that these are the kind of the basic level things. The name of your, I'll click into this so you can see, so the site name that I have, you can change various settings on, the date, timestamps, various items like the time zone, your primary language, the ability for people to, if we go into discussions here, sorry, you can look at the settings on whether you want people to be able to comment. If you want to disable that, often I disable that because you end up getting a lot of spam that way. So yeah, there's settings, and that's really the overview. If I ever want to go back to my dashboard, I can go up here. You'll get notifications for updates on plugins. That'll appear if you click here. That maybe overall WordPress updates. You'll be able to notice little numbers in red that might appear on the side here, kind of alerting you to the need to update something. And that'll also appear by your plugins. Maybe you have 4 plugins that need an update, and it'll notify you, and you can go into here and begin to address those things. I didn't go into any of these specifically very deeply, at least. I can do that in the future, but for somebody who's just new and logging in and you're wanting to know what are these items on the side, that's what you'll see here. I will also add that if you were to install a different template or theme, maybe you buy a theme, or maybe you've hired somebody to set up your website, a theme has the ability to add items on this left menu that are specific to that theme. Or if you install a certain kind of plugin, say I used MailChimp earlier as an example, you might see a button that appears on the side that says MailChimp, and that will have its own drop-down menu of settings and features for the setup of that particular plugin. And so don't get confused if you have your own website and it has a different, or it has additional things on the side. That's because you have different tools or a different theme installed, and those options and features and settings will all appear on the side that will allow you to maintain those tools specific to your website. So that's kind of a very basic overview of what you'll see when you log into your dashboard. And really, for most users, these 3 things right here are going to be the things that you use most often. You're going to be adding things to your blog, you're going to be adding an image, or you're going to be adding or editing a page that exists on your site. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll get into some more detail in future videos. Thank you.